Hey guys, I'm still dealing with the remnants of my chest infection, but I just wanted to jump in and film a quick video about something I'm getting so many emails about, and that is about the ETIAS Visa and the EES system. It's not easy to say that, is it? And about the differences and what you've got to do, and oh my God, is that going to ruin your holiday? Chill, breathe. It's okay. It's annoying and it's going to cost us all more money, but let's dive into actually what the reality of it all is and what you need to do right now. So the first thing to know is that the ETIAS and the EES system are not the same thing. It's not just one visa that does all the things. They're two very, very different things. The first one, the ETIAS, is a visa similar to what the ESTA is for the United States that you have to apply for in advance. Now they're saying that you should be able to apply for online and it will be done within a matter of minutes, but there are situations they can envisage where perhaps they need more information or something from you, and it will take at least a couple of weeks to be able to get the documents to them or whatever it is that they ask you for to provide, but they don't expect that to apply to many people. The ETIAS system or ETIAS visa is not yet live. It has actually been talked about now for years, and it keeps being delayed and it keeps being delayed, but it does look like it is coming more and more, or getting closer. And at the moment they're saying something like May 2025, and I guarantee the second I film this and then release this video, the date will have moved again. But at the time of me filming this, May 2025, but there's also talk that for UK residents, it might not even be until November 25. So do keep an eye out on any updates. But for now, you don't need to do anything. It's not going to affect any holidays for 2024 or even the beginning of 2025, but just know that it is coming and that potentially sometime within the next sort of 12-18 months, we will need to apply for a visa before we head into any of the EU or Schengen area countries. So that's the ETIAS visa. Now the EES system, which stands for Entry and Exit System, which is actually a lot easier to say than EES, but never mind, that is totally different. That is a way of them monitoring you, and basically they're going to track you using your biometrics. So it means that when the system goes live, because again, that one is not live, but that is now scheduled firmly, apparently, to become live in November 2024, so in a couple of months. What that means is when you go into your first EU country, and it covers most of the Schengen countries, it covers 29. I'll put up the countries that it covers here. So it's basically the EU, and then it covers, I think it was Iceland and Liechtenstein, Norway and Switzerland, but Ireland and Cyprus are still going to be manually done. So the point of the EES is it's to replace having to manually stamp passports. It's supposed to do it all electronically, and the way that they're going to do that is they're going to take photos of your face, and they're going to take your fingerprints. They're going to biometric take photos of your face, not just a normal photo, and then take your fingerprints, and that means that then when you go through a border crossing, they will use that information along with your passport to know how long you've been inside the EU or the Schengen zone, if you've overstayed your 90 days, and then you've also going to go on some sort of watch list if you've overstayed it. There's all sorts of things that they're talking about with the EES, but you do not have to do that in advance. That is going to be done at the very first border. So what it will mean, especially at the beginning, are huge queues, huge delays while they try and do everybody's biometrics. As with everything, the more it goes on and as time goes on and more people are in the system, it will get a lot quicker to move people through. But just expect at the beginning of these trips into the EU, it is going to be chaos and lots of delays. So bear that one in mind. Now, a few more details about each of these that you might find useful. So the point of ETIAS is so that the EU can screen people before they are allowed to come into the EU. So people who have been offenders, people who have caused carnage, I'm thinking specifically of like football hooligans and things, they perhaps won't be allowed back in again. People who have overstayed their welcome in the Schengen zone in the past, they perhaps won't be allowed back in again. There are lots of ways that the ETIAS visa is going to allow the EU to stop people coming inside their borders in advance. So they're basically just going to deny them visa access. The ETIAS visa is going to be valid for 3 years from the date of when it is approved. Now that, be really clear here, that does not mean you can spend 3 years inside the EU or the Schengen zone. It means that it is valid for 3 years. And as far as I understand it, you can cross, as long as you stay within your 90 out of every rolling 180 days 90-day period, you can cross back and forth under the same ETIAS approval for the duration of that 3-year period, unless you have to change your passport. So the ETIAS will be linked to your passport number or your ID number. If you don't have a passport, for 99% of us, it's going to be your passport. So if you have to change your passport for any reason during that period, you'll have to apply for a new visa because the two will be linked together. But it means then you don't have to apply every single time. It will cost €7 at the moment. Who knows whether that will stay that price or not, but that then will be for the duration of those 3 years. So yeah, annoying, and it will cost us a little bit more money, but not horrendously difficult. No more difficult than having to get a visa for any other country around the world that you travel to. Now, EES is designed eventually to make it quicker to track across the border, like I said. Once they've got your data in the system, it will make it quicker for them to keep track of people rather than having to stamp everyone and check everyone. There will actually be these self-service booths, which I imagine are very similar when you come through an airport and you put your passport in and it scans you. I think it's going to be something similar to that. Don't know how that's going to work if you're travelling in a vehicle, whether you're going to need to get out the vehicle and go through one of these booths or not. No clue how that's all going to work yet, but I think that is the plan. Certainly through airports and things, it's a way of moving people through a little bit quicker. So that's it. That's literally all there is to it. One will be a visa that you have to apply for in advance, and one will be the biometric data that is applied for or got when you actually first enter through one of the EU borders. Don't forget that none of those will affect how long you can stay in the EU. If you are restricted to the 90 days like most of us are, then you will still have to comply with the 90 and 180-day rolling period. If you're confused by what that all means and want to know how to get the most out of it and understand how long you've been in the system, this is the video to watch. I have been told it's really helpful, helps so many people understand how it all works and how to make the most out of their time. So I hope it does that for you as well. As always, feel free to subscribe if you want some more tips and advice for touring around the UK and Europe. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.